Good evening, friends. My name is Nishant, and I'm here for the interview preparation session discussion that we, keep track every day in the week so that we prepare for the interviews and make sure that we are up to date regarding the topics that we cover. So let's start the session. So I am actually trying to discuss regarding the statistics as it is an important topic that has to be covered when you're particularly learning data science, which is also essential. So let's start the discussion. So my first discussion would be regarding uniform distribution. So what is uniform distribution? So I'd like to give some time so that the participants who are online would try to answer it. Let's wait for a while. All right. The situation where the data tends to be at a central value rather than towards the left or towards the right is called normal distribution. It can be termed as Gaussian distribution as well. Sorry, the question should be normal distribution. Yeah, so the normal distribution curve is usually a bell shaped, right? And in normal distribution, the mean and the median and the mode lies in the middle. So the mean is equal to median is equal to mode. So let me show you the answer so that you can take a screen grab for the answer. Yeah, Karuna, we are actually discussing statistics. Yeah, Neha, the skewness is 0. And let's go to the second question. What is Poisson distribution? Would someone like to answer it? Right. It is a tool that can be used to determine how many times a particular event is likely to occur within a specific period of time. In other words, you can also name it as a count distribution. So, what is the real time scenario? Like, why do you use Poisson distribution? Is in real time scenario, the business, the business people use this to forecast about the number of customers or a number of sales that happens in a particular season of the year. So that's how it is useful. Let me post it if you want, if you'd like to, take a screenshot or copy it by the way. Hope you people are noting the questions. Please let me know and feel free to anytime stop me and ask me questions regarding. Neha, could you be specific regarding the question that has been asked? Tuhin, I have already given you the example. So in business scenario, uh, so a business a business owner or maybe an entrepreneur who has a particular business, for example, a restaurant owner, uh, calculating the Poisson distribution he of certain area can predict, then predict the number of most number of you know customers coming in particular scenario or a season in that particular year. Or did you get it, Tuhin? Or do you want me to elaborate it a little more? All right, thank you. So let's go for the next question. So what is binomial distribution? I'll wait for a while to you people to answer, and we'll have a little more explanation regarding it after it. Right. Binomial distribution is a probability distribution which predicts the likelihood that a value will take one or two independent values under a given set of assumptions. There would be only one value of the outcome. For example, you know, when a coin is flipped, it has two outcomes. By means two. All right. So in that two outcomes, there's only one outcome to be predicted one time. All right, which is independent. For example, if the chances of heads would be independent to the chances of tails. If a head is the outcome, so definitely uh, the outcome of tail would be zero, right? So this is how binomial distribution uh, you know can be explained. Yes, Sachin, you're right. Ipshita, yes, this is an example for binomial distribution. All right. So, do you have anything to be discussed? Else, we'll go to the next question. What is hypothesis testing? So I'll be waiting for a while for your answers. Yes, Neha, I guess there's really a latency issue over here. In that case, like I'll wait for another 1 2 minutes maybe. Tuhin, the assumptions you mean to say in binomial distribution, isn't it? So the assumptions are the events that are happening. I mean, if you anticipate head or if you anticipate tail, so these are assumptions. All right. So hypothesis testing is a process of testing whether you know it is actually used in making decisions, to choose null hypothesis or the alternate hypothesis. This is a process of testing whether uh, the hypothesis occurs or not. So on basis of the null hypothesis or alternate hypothesis that needs to be selected. Yes, Ipsita, you're correct. So yeah, so as I told you, it is a process whether the hypothesis that we assume occurs or not. So it depends it helps us making the decision to take the null hypothesis or the alternate hypothesis. Null hypothesis is supposed to be the assumption that we assume. Alternate hypothesis is something which is taken when the null hypothesis is not considered, and what is the next step to probably to avoid the risk when you're making decisions in risk management. Yes, Sachin, you're right. That is a precise answer. Now let's go to the next question. Hope this is understood. So what is central limit theorem? I'll take a moment to you to answer. Yes, central limit theorem states that the distribution of sample mean that approximate the traditional distribution. The sample becomes larger, assuming that each one of these sample are similar, and no matter what is the shape of the population distribution. And central limit theorem holds the sample for the no if the size is greater than or equal to 30. This is one of the important important topic that helps in hypothesis testing as well. Yeah, Shita, uh, yeah, right. You're right in a way, but yeah, it should be elaborated. Hope my explanation is understood. Please let me know. Feel free to ask a number of times if you do not understand the explanation. All right. Let's have an example. So let's have a population of 100 people who are interested in going to a certain place, probably Canada, right? So uh, so when you take the mean of that 100 people, I mean the age, according to the age. So let's say 29 is the mean that you get, when you draw first 100 sample and the mean is 29. The second time you take, sorry, 31 would probably be the mean of the first sample that has been randomly drawn from a population. And the second one, when you draw like that, that might be 39. So 39 and 31 would be the observations of the sampling distribution. And what this particular example explains about central limit theorem is, whenever you draw the mean of the random sample that you get, like it is different. And when you compare the means of the random sample, it it is always towards the center of the distribution that you make of all the random samples. So that is what central limit theorem explains. This is the next question. What is the significance of p-value in hypothesis testing? As usual, I'll pause for a while, wait for your answers. Yes, Sanjay. Could you be specific regarding the probability, whether it is proportional or indirectly proportional? Yeah, right, Sanjay. So, so p-value is used in hypothesis testing to help you support or reject the null hypothesis that is obtained. So, as I told you, like the p-value is indirectly proportional to null hypothesis. So, the smaller the p-value, the stronger evidence that you should reject the null hypothesis. Vice versa, if the p value is higher, then you take the null hypothesis. I believe that in an interview, so you are no you are expected to explain the answers in such a way that a 5-year old understands. Not that uh, it's not like the interviewer knows everything and he expects to be in a high level. So he expects you to explain scenarios in such a way that even a 5-year old child can understand it. So that's why like I'm putting it in a very articulated manner, so that you'll get the basics of the concept. Sure, Ipshita. You can take a note of it. I'll be waiting. All right. Hope this question has been copied and this will answer as well. Let's go to the next question, which is what is confidence interval? Let me wait for your answers. Yes, Ipsita and no, Sanjay. Yeah, partly, correct. And yeah, there's a clarity that is lacking. Like you have to explain it. It's not just giving the answer, right? Yes, though you guys are given a correct answer. All right, so let me explain. I mean, in order to understand the confidence interval, we have to first understand sampling error. No, while selecting a mean from the population is ideal to calculate the mean of the sample as when there is a population which is used, and obviously we might not want to go calculate the mean of the whole population. So that is the reason we take the sample data to calculate the mean. However, each and every time we take a sample and calculate the mean, as explained earlier, the mean value varies. For example, if it was 31, it might vary to 36. And each and every time when draw a sample and calculate the mean, the value varies, and it ranges between a certain 2 points. So that particular range is called confidence interval. So the confidence interval can be called as the range of either a median or mean of the sample errors. Hope this is understood. All right, let's go to the next question. What are type 1 and type 2 errors? Spot on, Ipshita. You're right. So, type 1 error occurs when the investigator rejects the null hypothesis that's actually true, right? Type 1 error is also known as alpha, right? Type 2 error occurs if the investigator fails to reject the null hypothesis, which is actually false within the population. And type 2 error is called beta error. And also, so these particular errors can be overcome by resizing the data sample. So when you increase the size of the data, you kind of overcome this kind of alpha and beta errors. Right. Let's go for the next question. What is A by B testing? No, Ipshita. So basically, A by B testing is a you know also a hypothesis testing. All right. So in this method, we make decisions, on basis of the sample statistics. We make the decision for the whole population. This is also a statistical hypothesis testing as well, and also called as statistical inference. Yeah, you're right. Yes, it is used in a field of stats. All right, so let's go for the next question. So there's always a debate between need and medium, which has to be, considered. So yeah, so this is kind of another question, which is which one is better, a mean or median, which helps you better, making assumptions, right inferences. Ipshita, you might have to, reconsider it. So what if you get, outliers? So would you still consider mean to be a right one to, make inferences? Right. So let me explain. So when you are calculating a mean, so if you have a numbers, no, a group of numbers which are less than 10, right? The values could be 5, 6, 9, 7, 8. And also you have a couple of outliers in them, right? So maybe 100. So if there is 100, so the whole mean value, would be biased. So that's why we don't use mean usually. Yes, yes. So mean gets influenced. Unlike mean, median doesn't depend upon the values in the data set. Consequently, when some of the values are more extreme, the effect of the median is smaller. When you have a skewed distribution, the median is better measure of central tendency than mean, right? Give me a K if you guys have understood the explanation. Oh, sorry. By mistake, I mute myself. So yeah. So as I was explaining, yeah, these are the five entities: the low extreme, first quartile, median, upper quartile, higher quartile. And Ipshita, yes, you're spot on. Like I, you've answered most of the questions. Yes. So I would like you to explore more and be concept oriented. Yes, all I say is explain it the way when that you are explaining it to a 5-year old. So that's how you get the concept and try to explain it in a better way to your interviewer, right? Hope I'm audible. And this is how we call it a day. Let's meet tomorrow in the next class with yet more concepts and questions. Hope we've been able to discuss and have an interactive session. Thank you, friends. That is it. You have a good day.